Welcome to a comprehensive dive into our migration project methodology. In this video series, we'll guide you from the initial phase of understanding client requirements, sketching out the future state architecture of the client system, all the way to a detailed assessment of efforts and blueprinting the technical project roadmap. Let's dive into the topic of this video. What exactly is a workload? In the context of a migration project, a workload is best described as a collection of related objects, including databases, applications, ETLs, scripts, and jobs, that the client identifies as a distinct, self-contained unit of the system, suitable for individual testing, validation, and deployment. Put simply, if you're moving your on-premises database to the cloud, it's not just about the database itself. It also encompasses the other system components that interact with this database. Thus, a workload represents all the system components that must be addressed to achieve the migration project's objectives. Each workload should have a well-defined specification, including components such as database schema and code objects, code for applications, ETL, and scripts, connections to external systems, clearly described dependencies between components, and more. Let's look at a 2 decades-old manufacturing system. Originally, it used an Oracle database and C++ application for all operations. As growth occurred, they developed a Java CRM application and later integrated Salesforce for improved customer engagement. Increased database activity led to the use of SQL scripts for monitoring and Oracle Recovery Manager for backups. With a rising employee count, they leveraged SQL Server's benefits, launching the HR Data Store and HR Manager app using Microsoft Stack. Their Microsoft license included the ETL tool, SQL Server Integration Services. This tool streamlined data from HR and core data databases to the Oracle warehouse. An analytical Java app provides insights, with Oracle Business Intelligence offering visual reports. Now let's examine several scenarios for migrating certain components of this system, depending on the client's business goal. In the first scenario, the customer says, "We want to stop paying for a Microsoft package license and transition our HR department to an open-source database on AWS Cloud, such as PostgreSQL or MySQL. We will keep the HR Manager C# application in our on-premises data center." In line with this objective, our workload includes the SQL Server database and ETL SSIS, both of which are covered under the Microsoft license. We also need to consider the system components affected by this migration. Only the HR Manager C# application interacts with the migrated database, requiring code adjustments and reconfiguration. Therefore, this application is also part of the workload. No other system components are affected in this scenario. In the second, the customer says, "We're considering replacing our core data Oracle database with an open-source alternative on the AWS cloud, such as PostgreSQL or MySQL. However, before fully committing to this transition, we want to run a proof of concept on AWS. The POC should include the Oracle database, its maintenance components, the manufacturer's C++ application, and the CRM Client Bridge Java application. Based on the client's instructions, we've included only the specified system components in the workload. For this POC, dependencies with components outside the workload can be disregarded. In the next scenario, building on the successful POC from the prior one, the customer makes the decision to migrate the Oracle database to Amazon Aurora PostgreSQL. All components that interface with the Oracle database are now included in the workload. The Deal Boost Salesforce application is also part of the workload since the CRM Client Bridge Java application is transitioning to the AWS cloud. The last 2 scenarios revolve around the analytics infrastructure. Let's assume the client says, "While we aren't fully departing from the Oracle data warehouse, we're examining a stepwise shift. We're curious about transferring a data warehouse subset as a mini-mart onto AWS platforms such as Redshift or Data Lake. We will keep the Data Integrator ETL SSIS, Insight Analyzer Java application, and visual reports in our on-premises data center." For this scenario, we include the Oracle data warehouse in the workload to identify interdependencies between the data subset designated for AWS migration and the data remaining in the Oracle warehouse. We need to fine-tune the ETL SSIS process to support data collection for the mini-mart, without disrupting ongoing data integration for the Oracle data warehouse. Additionally, it's crucial to assess the consequences of splitting this data on Insight Analyzer Java application and visual reports implemented with the Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition tool. Finally, the client is considering a full migration from the Oracle data warehouse to AWS platforms, such as Redshift or Data Lake. In this case, we include Oracle Data Warehouse and all components directly interacting with it in the workload for comprehensive assessment and strategic planning. That was the last example. In this video, we've clarified what a workload is and have gone through various scenarios illustrating the defining of workload within a customer's existing system based on their business goal. In the next video, we will look at defining the future state architecture of the system and describe the necessary transformations required to move from the current state architecture to the future state architecture. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.